Crank up your stereos and let the party begin. It's the Dave and Shawn Show. Sponsored by TopTalentBooking.com. And here's your host, Dave and Shawn.
Welcome to the Dave and Shawn Show. I just had this really weird Wayne's World moment, you know?
I swear.
Yeah, did you?
I'm sorry.
Dave Forrest, Shawn Steely. Again, find us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Dave and Shawn 2019. And yes, guys, I figured it out. We're in the Twitter universe at the Dave and Shawn Show rocks. We are here with our brand new sponsor, and we're happy to be a part of this. We all worship the tree. So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's Top Talent. Very happy to be here with Top Talent. And we've got a fantastic band. Matter of fact, the lead singer of the band, he's actually become my new best friend. I think I've had more conversations since we booked that. What's that?
Hey, man.
What's that?
That best friend stuff.
Look, nothing can compare to you. Okay, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, you're very tickles. Anyway, very happy to have Adam. Yes. And if you could introduce your two other bandmates.
My name is Masa Kato. What do you?
Yeah, plays the drums.
Plays the drums. Yeah. Plays the drums. Sorry, I'm still learning English. Yeah.
He's so good at the drums that he thought he doesn't need an introduction.
He doesn't even need to translate. He just plays.
I'm the drummer. And the guy that was born on a bus.
My name's Justin D'Agostino. I play bass in LOMEZ, and yeah, I said I was found on a bus.
Found on a bus. I got it bad. Sorry, I got it wrong.
And just so you know, the drummer's always the coolest person in the band.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And,
now the first question I got to ask, I bet he gets all the groupies, right?
Groupies?
Of course he does.
Oh yeah, I wish I could.
Well, it gets transferred that way because Adam and Jacob are both in relationships.
Yeah,
so if anyone's gonna get the groupies, it's gonna be.
Yeah, and Justin's also single. Don't let him fool you.
First of all, like your music, very interesting, wonderful sound, man. I like it, the hard rock edge to it. If you guys could tell me when you guys all first met, kind of originated and stuff, when you guys got together, if you guys talk about that.
Well, yeah, so the foundation of the band was in about 2015, and I had started playing with members that aren't in the band currently. It was a previous lineup. And it took us about 2 years to form the original songs and the sound of the band in a backyard garage that I had. But then when I left for about a year to go do field research in Indonesia for my full-time job, I'm a PhD candidate, but I left the country, and when I came back, we had to go through some lineup changes because we were all in different places in our lives, so that's when we needed to find a new drummer. I first found Masa. And then we had a guitar player that went through a little bit of a mental breakdown, and we needed to find a new guitar player, a new singer. So that was in 2017 when we met Adam, and then Jacob came on board in early 2018. So the band has been together for about 5 years, but the current lineup for a little over 2 years. And since we've had the current lineup, we recorded our album, Chasing Our Tails. We've played all throughout Southern Illinois. We've also been outside of Illinois. We've played here in Missouri. We've played down in Tennessee. We've played in Cincinnati, one of the most interesting shows, I think.
Interesting is an understatement.
And we're currently, we have some shows lined up. We'll be going to Iowa pretty soon, back down to Murray, Kentucky. We're pleased to be with you here and, seeing what else is going to be on the horizon for LOMEZ.
So for me, I actually met Masa before Masa met Justin, and I had moved here because of my now wife, but I met her online, and that's what brought me to this Illinois area. And this was almost 3 years ago now, and so I met Masa, and when I met Masa, he literally just came from Japan, and he didn't have he had the money to fly himself here, but not his drum set yet.
Yeah, I didn't have any drums. I don't know where I can play the drums. And
I sent him some of my old recordings and some writing, and he was like, I really love what you're doing. I love your writing. And he's like, but I wish we could do music together, but we can't. So let's keep in contact, and we'll see what happens in the future. And strangely enough, I meet a guy named Merlin, who when I met him, they looked like a wizard, and then I do meet him, and he does look like a wizard, and I'm like, man, yes. So, but he was, we recorded some covers together, and then he's like, well, I know this band LOMEZ, and they're needing a singer, and I guess he had met Justin, and so he introduced me to these guys, and I walk into this Mizoner studio in Murfreesboro, and Masa's behind the drums, and I ain't seen Masa since we met. That one. Actually, we played one other time at a friend of mine's house one day, and that was it, and then and that's how then we continued from there.
So the music scene is pretty small in the Southern Illinois area, and it's kind of like a revolving dating pool. So if this seems a little like overlapping, like at one point you've all met someone else.
Yeah, that's so true.
Backstory,
yeah.
So it's kind of a weird scenario, but I think it is like that. It's a close-knit community. We all know each other. We get along well with all the other bands that we've played with, and we want to keep going at it.
Was it kind of a weird adjustment? I mean, coming from, especially you, Adam, coming from Florida, stepping into, because I know for me, coming from a bigger city like Madison, Wisconsin, from doing bigger like markets and then coming into Missouri, when I moved here, it was just like, oh wow, it was kind of a little bit of a culture shock a little bit, but I got eventually grew into it.
But see, I growing up, I lived in like 9 different states all over the eastern United States seaboard, and I spent a lot of time in Kentucky too, in small towns, working with musicians in that area, and that's where I met Charlie. So I'm used to, in a sense, I'm used to being in a small town, trying to work with local musicians and find a way to create something that is not only worth listening to, but you're grooving to it, even if you're not listening to the words. And then if you want to listen to the words, there's something to be heard there. So, and that's really what we try to give people. And so I found that in the little towns. As a matter of fact, some of the greatest bands have come from small towns like this, and in areas like this. And so I don't see why that can't happen here, honestly. The only thing is that if we pull together all of this comes together in this area, what we can do, we can put on festivals, we can do a lot of different things that I know that need to be happening here again. I know about the past ones, but they need to happen again. So
I agree 1,000,000%.
Yeah, and there's people here for that. There's universities.
For me, I do see that there is potential, and it's kind of like if you're playing in front of 2 people or 2,000 people.
That's the difference.
You still have to play the same way. You go, balls to the wall.
You leave it all on stage
for whenever, when no one's looking or when everyone's looking.
That's right.
But I do have to admit that coming from a larger city to a smaller town in the Midwest, there was a fair amount of culture shock. And for me to be able to use music almost as like a coping skiller, like to deal with that transition, definitely helped me a lot. So like if I was feeling like missing out on being able to go get whatever food I wanted to, or to go out with friends and like a huge atmosphere, or be like, for me, the ocean, like being able to be on the Pacific Ocean, being near San Francisco and Los Angeles where I lived before here, couldn't do that. So
he came straight from Los Angeles to here.
Yeah, so when I'm going like stir crazy, like in my place in the Midwest, like grabbing the guitar and writing some music was what I used to help me through that transition.
I do know I went to LA once, and it was just like, compared to Madison, I was just literally like freaking out, like going like, oh my god, like wow, the music scene here. It was just like,
I went to San Diego once, and it was
it was really cool, but it was just like wow. Then I got back to Madison, I'm going like, okay, we're 10 steps back here.
well, I think that's probably because the top 5% of the people from Madison are probably out in LA, like singing in the karaoke bars and trying to.
Well, I mean,
make it like they get the top.
Out of Madison, I actually know him. He's a friend of mine, Butch Vig, very popular producer, produced Nirvana, Green Day. He was in the band. I don't know if they're still currently together, but Garbage and stuff. I don't know if you
I
heard
know
of Garbage.
Garbage,
Yeah, Garbage is, was doing their thing back in the day. But let's talk about too, getting into the current album. As far as the writing techniques, I mean, do you guys all share in the writing, or what? If you guys kind of want to walk our audience through that, what that's?
Yeah, this was a hybrid album of sorts because, as I had mentioned, the project started in 2015,
right?
And it was written mostly the melodies and the lyrics I had written myself, but then when we went through different lineup changes, we had to make edits and shifts, and like Masa was playing different drumming patterns, so we had to extend some bars and verses and time signatures, and sometimes where I would play a riff and like Masa would process it for a second, and then sometimes he'd go, okay. Like,
man. You can almost see it happening in a little cloud outside his head.
He has like the Apple like rainbow spinning.
That's so true, man.
And then sometimes he's like, Justin, no, I don't think so.
No, that's not gonna work, man.
We need to change something. So then sometimes, the songs would evolve depending on the new members, and like, we brought in our own sort of flair. So it started maybe as a project that I had written most of, bringing on Masa, changed some of the timing, bringing on Jacob. I mean, he has a much more aggressive guitar tone than the previous guitarists that we played with. With Adam, he has a very good spoken word voice. So like the title track, Chasing Our Tails, we kind of designed to have at least 2 segments of that song designed to do spoken word for that song.
It was after reading, from what I understand, he wrote the bass riff for that after reading the book I published, Winds of Perception. And he had read the entire book of poetry I published, and then started writing Chasing Our Tails, and then we wrote Compromise together as well.
I had his voice in my head, and like as a method to like get the weirdness out of there, I was like, I just have to write a song to like stop thinking about this. So I wrote the song, and then he put his thing on it, and
Compromise. We wrote Compromise together on the album too.
Yeah, it's funny. I hear his voice. I start to think like I need to go to therapy.
I can sing kind of.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So I could save you a few $100 and just get a guitar. And,
man.
Put a song down, and it's
no. God,
jam with us, man.
There you go.
If you need room for turntables, man, I can still do my mixing.
Saw a monster. It was dark, but I swear it's true. Yes, I saw a monster. So take a walk into the night, where there is no light. Fear is outlined in chalk. This is night. Walk.
Let's talk a little bit about what could people expect, coming out to see you guys live. What's the live show like?
Wow, that's a good question. It's nothing. In my opinion, it surprises, and I'll be honest. I have a lot to do with the in our band contacting the various promotional companies or record labels and all of the different people and venues of music, and we've got a lot of yes and a lot of good feedback about the album, but I think that the album doesn't even compare to our performance live, not even close. For me. Being on stage, you really you get the opportunity to become the channel for music, and so you become the music. And when we were recording this music, we were all learning, especially us new to it. So we're recording while we're learning, and now we know the songs, been playing them for a year. So, and we come with the Day of the Dead costumes. We all when we play plugged in on a big enough stage anyway. We definitely have personas we create, and then we even go dressed casual to play an acoustic set of a metal album. So the versatility is definitely there.
It can be
dynamic.
Yeah, that's a good word to put. It's dynamic depending on where we're playing.
So true.
So if we're playing at a record store, you know, after hours and they kind of sneak us in the back, like, you know, we will turn up to 11 and, like, you know, be full decked out and
the whole place
rocking,
is
like,
jumping.
you know,
it's crazy.
you better have some earplugs in. You're gonna the next day, like, you know, we encourage people to get in and, like, you know, mosh with us, like, on stage. So you get that. Or if we're playing at, you know, a smaller bar, like, you know, in Murfreesboro, you know, like, that sort of vibe doesn't really work when a lot of people are just there at the end of their working day, just want to have a beer. Like, we'll either chase them out of the place or they'll come and fight us on stage. So we'll have to, like, tone down a little bit. And like you mentioned, like, we'll play our acoustic versions of the song, so we can give
Which
you
is
that
interesting
as well.
to hear, I think, because you take what is a metal album and you find just the beautiful about it, and you still do it. And I mean, I love our acoustic set, honestly, but I also really like being loud and live. We like doing some covers as well. A lot of bands say, well, we just want to. We love our originals, but I like doing a cover every now and then. I like paying homage to the ones who came before, make it possible for me to be out there. You know, and so I think it's really an opportunity, really.
And it challenges us as musicians to be able to kind of flow with whatever circumstances we're given. So I guess to answer your question, what you will get very much depends on the scenario. So, like, if we're at a little coffee shop, you're going to get experience A, but, like, if you're with us, like, at a basement in a punk house, you're going to get experience B. so we can fill in all the different spectrums. So it just depends on the venue, and we challenge, you know, everyone to come out and to get that, you know, that broad range of what we can give them.
If the venues, not to criticize venues at all, but if they made it more aware for their patrons that a live show is happening there, and these people are aware that music's going to be there the night that they come there, and they come there for the music, then they're expecting music, so they're going to listen. If people are coming there, and then the venue's not advertising with us that we're going to be there and trying to let their people know this band, if that's not happening in tandem, then it loses sight of possible people that they could get there, because we can only get so many there, you know what I mean? You know, and so it all, you know, for me, it's like, it surprises, I'll be honest with you, when I started booking shows in smaller venues, especially that, like, mostly acoustic, and we're coming in there with, like, alternative metal, like, I'm doing, so you think, you know, like, on Nightwalk, it really gets heavy, and then we're also doing beautiful stuff, but at the same time, like, when you come to, I was surprised at the amount of people that not only had us play their venue, but then wanted us back and wanted to provide us with whatever we needed to do so. So that was really cool. You know, that was a good response to what we do, you know, in this area, I thought.
And as Adam, you know, can get heavy on some songs where he's, like, right in there in the front row, like, rocking out with the, you know, the people digging the music. You can get sweated on, you can get headbutted, you can be in the mix. But then also in other songs, like, you know, if that's too much, you know, we kind of sit back and tell you about the inspiration of some of our songs. Like, there's one song that I had come up with the main chorus on the way down to get some Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, for me, I'm addicted to that hot now sign. So, like, I try to share that with audience members, and sometimes we'll throw out donuts. So, you know, you might get sweated on and headbutted, you might get a donut.
That's so true.
An acoustic version.
Yeah. And if you know the cover we're playing, we have merchandise for you. I mean, we literally, you know, we have we have, you know, good merchandise you can get from us at the same time.
Stickers.
And,
you know,
I mean, you're gonna get something at our show, so.
We're branching out into, like, you know, to be more family friendly, to get, like, diapers with, like, LOMEZ
baby
logos
shirts
on
with
them.
LOMEZ skull. Cool. Like, you know, that would be great.
I have
you know,
an 18-month-old.
we would definitely want to get a good deal on bumper stickers.
Baby
And we know that's a, you know, multi-billion-dollar industry. So
that's always booming.
Let me get in on the ground floor with my adorable daughter.
All right, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Let me ask this: if you want to let people know, where can they get the album as far as streaming, and if you guys want to go ahead and plug that?
Most definitely. You can find the album on all streaming platforms, actually. Okay.
But particularly the one that we get paid the most is on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.com, and you just put in LOMEZ Band in any of the platforms, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Pretty much Spotify, we're there too as well.
On our Facebook page, facebook.com/LOMEZ Band, LOMEZ BAND. So you go there, and you can click shop now.
Yes.
You can buy the album on Bandcamp. You can get T-shirts. You can get stickers.
You click shop now. You go to the same place to buy anything you want from what we do. And as a matter of fact, what I really want you to do is go to the event spot and see where we're playing next, and come see us live, because that's where you'll get the LOMEZ experience. I mean, the album's good, but I think that we're better live than we.
But hold on, but also I do want to say, you know, it is good to see us live, but we also, you know, if you dig our music, when you buy that album or buy our stickers, that's how we get money and we can keep playing. So.
That's really true.
Come see us live, but do also buy our shit.
Yeah.
As we kind of wrap things up, I do want to ask the craziest question, I guess, and I ask this of all bands that I've been doing for a long time. What is the craziest fan that you guys have ever had to deal with? The weirdest fan that you guys... Sean knows I do this.
There's two examples of
this. The weirdest experience.
Yeah, we have two.
Okay.
I'll tell the positive one.
Okay. So the positive one is... Okay, which positive one's Dave, and I got
a few. It's not me. It's not me.
Kicked out, and then the other one had said, like, we made his night.
I don't remember. You tell the best story.
So.
I don't remember that story.
So
I do remember that now.
Yeah, so we've had a couple fights break out at our shows too.
Yeah.
So I when you said like what can you expect from a LOMEZ show, we've had a couple fights at our shows.
Not us. We weren't fighting.
Yeah, but like there were some fights that were out amongst the crowd, and so we took a break. We were like, okay, we see it's getting a little bit too intense, so we're gonna take a little break. And I think the person that instigated the fight got escorted out, and he went on his way for the rest of the night. And then the guy that I think kind of got his ass kicked, like, you know, we gave him a free, you know, sticker and shirt and like encouraged him to stay for the rest of the set.
Yeah.
And he did kind of reluctantly, but like afterwards we were like, you know, giving him shout outs. And I think we like threw a donut at him. And like after the gig, he was like, "Thank you so much. Like I don't think in my life I would ever thought that I could have got my ass kicked but still had a great night."
So really enjoyed the music.
We were able to like, you know, to kind of make his night decent enough, even though he got in this fight at the bar. So that was cool. One. The other kind of crazy fan story, and this I think is like our first true fan, because he showed up kind of unannounced, didn't know who the heck we were. We started playing. He asked for our Facebook link, got a copy of our album, and then didn't talk with us in the meantime, but had followed our event page, came to another show. After the gig, came up to us and said, "Holy shit." Like, I mean, I had enjoyed the first, you know, time that you guys played, but after I've had a chance to like listen to the album, like hear the lyrics, like digest it, and then see you guys a second time, he was like, "You guys are unbelievable. Thank you so much for."
I mean, it was
playing.
so genuine. That...
And like, and it was genuine. It was like we really like, you know, had an experience where someone that we had no idea who he was, like, loved the music and came in, and like it almost made it feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, it did make it feel
like Bandcamp and like these other streaming services, sometimes they send out these generated responses that say like, if you sold one copy or two copies, it says like, "Well, thanks mom and dad for doing this," and like now you get to this next tier. And I think a lot of the, you know, fans are either friends of ours or friends of friends, but like to have a complete stranger that you have no idea who they are, like really say that they dig your music and want to keep, you know,
and to say it out loud right after the show and be like, so
and have it was genuine.
It's like, you know how a lot of times it's got to be about planting the seed and not caring about the fruit bear from the tree,
right?
Because if it's about the fruit, then it's tainted from the beginning. That's that same concept. And so sometimes you need that moment so that it gives you reason to believe, you know, that there's still goodness left in the world. People know what good music is still. You know, this is great. And honestly, it was like, all right, so this is unbelievable that this dude, like, we never talked to him, you know. So it was different to have that experience, and it made me know one thing, that everyone that's ever heard of music, they definitely will say that it's an original take on a '90s sound.
If Dave is out there listening to this right now, thank you very much. That's who we're
go Dave.
Thank you.
And we compared him to have you seen Rage Against the Machine's first performance? They were at a university in California. It's up on YouTube, and like one of the best comments I heard said that whoever filmed that and put that up on the internet, that should be in like the Smithsonian. But during that set, like there were so many people just like walking by and like had no clue what was happening right now. But there was one guy in a red shirt that was like rocking out and like into the whole set. And like for us, that was like our Dave. So like for us, as far as fans,
you can be our Dave too.
Cool, thanks, man. Please
be our Dave.
Wait, hold on, I'm just having a moment here. Excuse me one more time. No, I'm kidding. One more time, if you guys want to go ahead and plug your Facebook page and all your media stuff they can check out.
Yes.
Okay, so we got Facebook. Facebook.com/LOMEZBand, LOMEZBAND. On that page, you can get links to shop now on our Bandcamp page. Also, our music is on Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Google, LOMEZ Band, and find us. And please, listen, contact us. We're very communicable. We'll talk on Messenger or give us a call.
Just send us a message.
I don't know if it's wise, but Adam's phone number is on our page. You can call him, text him directly.
I know where you live.
That's all right. Come on over, Dave. You're our Dave, man. So, I also want to say Instagram. Some people don't have Facebook, but they have Instagram. So LOMEZ Music, all one word, LOMEZ Music. You can find us on Instagram. So
Twitter too. You have a Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. It's LOMEZ15, all capital LOMEZ15, and please contact us there. Honestly, if you're an artist and you want to share some of your stuff with us, we'd love to see what you got to show us. We're always looking to be inspired and to inspire others. So,
The Dave and Shawn Show is brought to you by Top Talent. Do you need entertainment? Visit their website at toptalentbooking.com.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
I want to say Jacob Crawford, our lead guitarist, wishes he could be here. It's him and his they just had a baby, and this is their 1-year anniversary today.
Yeah, he's great.
That's why he's not here.
Yeah, he's great on guitar,
and he has a very passion, and of course, everyone has a talented, and I think and Justin has a really good creative and very has a big passion, and he always has a big picture and big vision, and he's a very organizing very well, and he
That's
can.
where a PhD comes in handy.
That's exactly right. I count on him.
He always knows the goal
Count on
how
the
to
big
get
brain.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, and also the Adam has a really good voice and good, really energy, and he's pushing the audience, and he's a really great frontman.
And I do want to say though that it is good, and we do
means a lot
have a
coming from
cohesive
us,
group, and we are a tight band, and I think that's why I can say this. So Jacob, your tattoo better be fucking awesome. Yeah, you better send us pictures.
Yeah,
and
I
you better
want
see this
pictures
thing.
of the tattoo.
Proof.
I
With
wanna see it.
today's newspaper.
I do know, Shawn, I want to come see you guys live real soon.
Awesome.
So,
Well, tuned in radio. We'll be on Tuned In Radio March 6th. They're in Cleveland, Tennessee. They're online, and I believe they even do a television station of some sort in the area. I think they're in.
More information is on our Facebook
Yes,
page.
go to the
If you
event
follow
page,
us, we're going to
and,
have more information on there.
Yeah, so we look forward to you definitely coming. Anybody, all of you, come to the next show, definitely.
guys, thank you so much for taking the time today to be
Thank
with
you,
us.
guys.
And follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave and Shawn 2019. On Twitter, at The Dave and Shawn Show Rocks. Thank you so much, LOMEZ, Shawn, myself. See you later. Peace.